certainly worked for Margaret Thatcher. As we go on to Jeremy, now what I'd like to ask you about is the euro. Is Britain going to bite the bullet and join up with the European currency, or are we going to stand on our own with the pound forever?
Well, we will be holding a referendum, and if it goes against us, we're going to have to do some pretty quick thinking, because we've sort of made
just
our
have
minds
another
up already.
referendum, won't you, until eventually you get
these
the
are
vote
not
you
the
want.
sort of questions.
This is what happened in France.
Real people don't want to know this kind of nonsense.
They do. This is central to your policy.
I mean, oh, look, a quid's a quid, isn't it?
Yes.
A quid's a quid.
But are we still going to have
a franc's a mark? I mean, whatever. You know, I mean, come on.
Well, are we going to...
Tits out for the lads, let's be honest. Denise Van Houten, there's talent.
No, I know, but I think the electors would really like to know whether, if they vote for you, in 5 years' time we're going to be in the euro, or in 5 years' time we're still going to be shilly-shallying around.
Questions people ask me as I travel are things like, votre passeport, monsieur, and buongiorno, signor.
But are you embarrassed when you meet other European leaders and they make fun of you because we're still sticking to our own ways? Or are you proud of it? Are you proud of the fact that we've managed to retain... because our economic cycle is very different from the continentals, isn't it?
It's very, very lonely being at the top, Clive. I have to make these decisions. And
well, you put yourself forward for this.
Times when you just want a big lapel to nuzzle into and say, you know...
Well, there's Gordon Brown next door and number 11.
But he's not the same as you, Clive, you know. Oh, you're so
Mr. Huddy, I'd like to get back to the issues. I think we're straying off into other considerations. What does the city say about this? Because international trade is very important. Financial trade to the city.
Yes. Well, I was looking at in the wrong direction at that point.
Yes.
And
looking towards America rather than Europe?
No, looking towards you instead of my pager.
Well, I don't know what your pager's got to do. I'm trying to ask you about your economic policy.
True. That's true in a sense.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, you were in fact.
So you're in favour of the pound being retained?
Broadly.
Well, what about going to the euro?
Good one. Yeah.
Yes.
Pound, euro.
Well, which is it? Are you
fascism, democracy, narco-syndicalism.
You're not very good at being a politician, are you?
Good. No.
Is this a resignation you're about to offer from all positions in politics?
Well, before I answer that, Clive, it's very important that I Did you what?
Let me just say this. And I think the people will agree with me when I say this.
Yes.
That whether or not we go into the...
Yeah. Yes.
Into the euro.
Yes. I think you proved certainly that you've got lead in your pencil. As we go on to a straw poll, are you siding with the Reds or siding with the Blues? Press the appropriate button and do it now. Oh, well, there you are. 59 to 41. The Reds are in the lead. Well done, the Reds. Now, the blue team, you look downcast, and not surprisingly, I mean, this is a bit of a body blow, isn't it?
No, we're trying to push through unpopular measures at the moment, and there's always this sort of turn against a government in the middle of a term.
But you're in opposition.
Well, we are now, aren't we? Yeah.
Reds, are you confident?
Well, if I...
Complacent? Smug?
If I cared about the opinions of ordinary people, I'd be delighted at this point, clearly. But... No, carry on.
Does this reflect...
Go ahead, Clive. Go ahead. Don't be put off by somebody interrupting you constantly. Go ahead, speak.
Does this reflect the results?
Now you know how it feels, don't you?
I feel that...
See, over here's the end of a sentence.
Yes.
Try and get to there.
Yes.
See if you can just get... Run for it, Clive.
Were you hoping to be back?
What?
Were you hoping
Finish what you started to say. Answer the question.
OK, we'll move on now to a round called Reshuffle. In this round, our politicians will be appointing some new members of their cabinet. In fact, they'll have to justify the appointment of anyone they find behind the numbers on this screen. There you are. It's just a random thing. You get whoever's there. So, Jeremy, pick a number, and you have to justify appointing whoever you find behind that number.
2.
2. Number 2, and you get... That's Reggie Cray. So...
Well, he is a wealth creator, in the sense that he made a lot of money without ever doing any work.
Could he be chief whip or something like that? He could be an
I think whip would be a rather mild post for him. Yeah. I think possibly nails or a shotgun.
Linda?
I think this is a marvellous move. I think the that Mr Cray will be a marvellous addition to our cabinet. He could be in charge of collecting third world debt. I think that would be very successful.
Jolly good. Let's go over to Graeme Garden, and you can look at the chart. Pick a number.
Number 6.
Number 6. And that's Jeremy Clarkson, I believe. Very popular broadcaster, but what would he be doing in your cabinet?
So it is. He'd be a very welcome member of our cabinet. Yeah, a spokesman on public transport, I would imagine.
Well, Ferraris for everybody.
Yes, and he could give coaching on MPs on how to deliver a speech, or even to the Queen's speech. Could be something like, never mind the sleek lines, this government has enough grunt under the bonnet to rip off a maiden's drawers at 15 paces. Her Majesty would be very popular doing that.
Let's go back to the grid. Linda, you have to make a selection.
Oh, number 4.
Number 4. Jolly good. And that's Robbie Williams.
Excellent. Excellent. I think this will be a marvellous move for us because, you know, frankly, we've got stars directing our fate. We're praying it's not too late. We know we've fallen from grace. Millennium.
Let's move on to John. Now, what number are you going to go for?
Number 1.
Number 1. Very good number. Adolf Hitler. Now, is he going to fit in with your cabinet?
It'll be good for youth training.
Minister of Defence, something like that? Attack?
Minister for Europe?
Yes.
Well, all of it.
Yeah.
I thought Minister of Sports would suit him rather well, wouldn't you? I mean, I saw him play golf once at St Andrews, and he got out of that bunker.
Let's go on to a round called I Like to Keep in Touch. Jeremy, first, you've got 90 seconds to see if you can answer as many questions as possible on what you politicians insist on still calling Cool Britannia. OK? Who runs the Ministry of Sound?
David Blunkett.
I think that's education you're thinking of. James Palumbo, no point there. Who are All Saints?
Christopher, Patrick, Bernadette, Andrew...
This is going to take some time in this form of the answer, isn't it? I'll give you a point on that just to stop you. What movie did Vinnie Jones star in?
La Cage aux Folles.
No, Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. Who is Tricky?
Alistair Campbell.
I'll give you a point for that. What are the Brits?
The occupying forces in Northern Ireland.
I can't give you that one, I'm afraid, even though it'll go in your column. Who chopped a cow in half?
Paul Daniels.
Well, we always like a good laugh, but no points. It was, of course, Damien Hirst. Who is Fat Boy? Who is Fat Boy Slim, also known as?
Nigel Lawson.
Closest, Norman Cook. Well, oddly worded question. Who stars in Hideous Kinky?
David Miller.
I'll give you that. It's Kate Winslet we're looking for. I'll give you a point. What is the new Titanic?
The Millennium Dome.
No, it's a restaurant. What is Tara Palmer Tompkinson famous for?
Exactly.
Well, I'm afraid you can't get any out. So 3 points to Jeremy Hardy as we go over to Graeme Garden. And your questions, perhaps more suited to you, I don't know, is Ye Olde Britain. And you've got 90 seconds to see how many questions you get right here. Who admitted they had the body of a weak and feeble woman?
Dr. Crippen.
Queen Elizabeth I at Tilbury is the answer. Yes. Who fought at the Battle of Stamford Bridge?
Well, they all did. It was a battle.
Yes. Odd enough they didn't, because one side wasn't ready for it, but we're looking for the two Harolds and one of his brothers, Tostig. Who polishes the crown jewels every February?
Lonely beefeaters.
Every February is not very often, is it? Anyway, it's Garrard, the crown jeweller. No points there. Which king exploded in his coffin?
Edward the Semtex.
Henry VIII, apparently. Where would you go down the Cam in a punt? The clue there is the word Cam.
It would be at one of Reverend Spooner's rather wild parties in Cambridge.
I'm going to give you a point for that.
richly earned.
Yes. What do the Norwegians give us once a year?
Flu.
I think you're referring to your own au pair girl at this point, but...
All right, I don't know.
Something more
Christmas tree.
Christmas tree, well done for Trafalgar Square. Point there. What was the cause of the McDonald's massacre?
That was an angry cow who knew too much.
I give you a point on that. The chief hadn't sworn allegiance to the British Crown. It's done over by the
Same
Campbells.
thing.
Where... It's normally called the Glencoe massacre. Where was the Great Exhibition?
At the Fireplace Festival at Crystal Palace.
No points, I'm afraid. It's Hyde Park, 1851. And how many points have you got there, Graham? You've got 3 points as well. So there it is. It's a tie as